But what did you hope to achieve by the antics that we saw in the Mall yesterday, Robert?
Yeah, well, we interrupted the Jubilee celebrations because we wanted to draw awareness to the climate crisis and indeed animal farming's contribution towards that. And we were calling on the Crown and the government to effectively use their influence to and the significant amount of land that they own to transition away from meat and dairy farming, which we know is one of the biggest contributors to the climate emergency, and support farmers in a shift towards plant-based food farming.
See, I wish, on one level, that the royal family would divest itself of its obsession with murdering animals with guns. I wish they wouldn't do that, but they seem addicted to that strange country pastime. But there you are. But we're just looking at your friends and colleagues getting arrested yesterday. I mean, the police were on them very quickly like a ton of bricks. And I don't think you do your cause any favours at all by this. You say you're bringing attention to it. You're bringing a lot of antipathy to it by doing this. People will hate you for what you did yesterday.
You know, we're always going to have people who disagree with our tactics and disagree with our message.
Well, they would, though. They would, wouldn't they? Because those tactics are ridiculous. They're childish.
Well, the reality is, writing petitions and writing to our MPs hasn't worked. We've had 30 plus years.
You think this is working, do you?
So
you think that works?
We have to take this, sorry, if you let me finish, we have to take this into our own hands because the powers that be aren't listening to our petitions and our peaceful protests. So we go out there with non-violence in our hearts and peace, and we go out and we take direct action and we cause disruption because that works. That's how you get change.
But did you have to do it yesterday? Did you have to do it at the Mall? I mean, you know, OK, fair enough. It's another debate about whether or not you should go to the M25 or oil refineries. But, you know, come on, Robert. The nation's having a party. Let them do that and don't do what you did yesterday. I mean, it was just unpleasant.
Well, you say the nation's having a party, but
well, it is. I think you'd have to agree that.
Well, some people are partying, and obviously we've got bank holiday for this. More than £1 billion has been spent on these celebrations, whilst more than 2 million people in England are relying on food banks, which I think is a crime. So we're calling on the government and the Crown to put a plant-based food system in place so people don't go hungry, so people aren't suffering through this cost of living crisis.
Yeah, I'd like to see you stand up your claim that 2 million people are relying on food banks. That's just a statement, and you cannot prove that.
Well, it was reported.
It was reported by people like you.
Well, no, by reputable news organisations.
Yeah, The Guardian. Yeah,
I believe it was the BBC.
Same difference. You know, you just peeling out statistics like that. But, you know, I don't want to get into a fight with you, Robert. It's too much of a trope, people like me having a fight with people like you. And as I say, in terms of animal welfare, I am right on your side. But I don't like your tactics, and I certainly don't like your tactics yesterday. Really, I mean, I was about to say by all means go to refineries and M25, but I don't really think that. But you know, go there if you must. But not, you know, this is just nasty and antagonistic and will have done your cause absolutely no favours whatsoever. What you will have done yesterday is put millions of people off your cause. So why do you do it? Is it just attention seeking?
It's not about that at all. It's about listening to the scientists who are telling us we have 2 to 3 years to make transformative changes if we want a livable future. So this is a future where we can feed ourselves.
Well, that's rubbish as well, isn't it? 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years. You people, you're ideologues. You're obsessed. You know, you think that your cause warrants authority over every other cause. You think that you're entitled to do this because of your own obsessions. You are self-obsessed. You know that.
We're not obsessed. We're really
Yes, you are. Come on.
Me, but the reality is we're just scared.
You're scared, are you? Come on. Grow up, Robert. Grow up.
Going to have a future if we don't act now. our kids, our grandkids.
And when did you become brainwashed
to take
like
action.
this?
So that's why we're doing this.
And what time
and we're drawing attention to the science, but we're presenting solutions as well. So we're coming and we're saying, you know, if meat and dairy is one of the key contributors, let's transition to a plant-based future where we use far less land.
What about if people don't want to? What about people who don't want to? But what about the people that don't want to? Why should you have authority over people who don't want to do what you want them to do? You're fascists.
It's not that at all.
You are. You are imposing your views on everyone else. You think your views are right and everyone else is wrong and you are superior. That's fascism.
These aren't our views. We're echoing the science here. So we're listening to the experts.
Well, there's lots of scientists. No. Don't give me that listening to the experts rubbish.
And that's the reality.
Yeah. I can get you experts who'll tell you that you're totally wrong. So don't give me that listening to the experts nonsense.
You could maybe find one expert.
Oh no, I couldn't. I can find a lot more than that, and you know it.
You don't have to keep interrupting me. The reality is, when we farm, for example, meat and dairy, that uses 80% of all farmland, but produces less than 20% of calories. So if we move that to just grow crops through a plant-based food system, we save a significant amount of land that can be used to plant trees and rewild. So to restore biodiversity and absorb carbon from the atmosphere.
And would you
avert the worst
blah blah blah. And would you accept that millions of people have the right not to give a damn about your cause?
Of course they do. And we also
there you go. Then.
And that's the right that we're fighting for, is the right to a livable future and a safe environment.
Yeah, honestly, man. When did you swallow the Kool-Aid? When did you get brainwashed with all this rubbish?
I wouldn't say I'm brainwashed at all.
When did you start? When did you start spewing out this claptrap?
As you say, you care about animals. I care about the environment. I worry about all the wild animals who we know are going extinct. Yeah. And we need to do something to address the environmental crises. You know, there's no conspiracy about it. This is respected people like David Attenborough, who the nation adore, are going and saying the world cannot sustain billions of meat eaters.
All right, listen, Robert, it was good of you to come on, and another time we'll have a chat about animals.